All right, what is good? Paige B here, Kiss 107.1, simply the best R&B, and we are here for another amazing interview with a super talented artist, definitely one of our favorites on the airwaves here. Of course, What You Did, of course, the latest single, Whenever You're Ready. She is super duper dope, so definitely welcome Mahalia to the line. Hi, Mahalia, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. How are you?
Doing all right. So how are things going over there where you're at with the whole like pandemic situation?
Things are clearing up quite a lot. Everything's open again, which is nice.
Good.
People are getting vaccinated. People are kind of out and about again. I'm doing shows again, which is
Yeah.
really exciting. I know yeah, it's been a really nice couple of months, and I guess because it's summer here, it's been nice to just be able to like go out, go to the pub, go to the park, sit, read my book. It's been really nice.
Awesome, awesome. Now, of course, like you've been doing this whole music thing for a while, like ever since pretty much you were started walking and talking and all that. Got your first deal at 13, breakout single Sober at 18. So what has it been like? How has it been like growing up in the music industry and how that kind of played a part in your evolution as an artist?
I mean, it's definitely been a roller coaster. I think like I always kind of there's a phrase, so I always refer to myself as a kind of label baby because I kind of, I like started writing songs when I was 12, I would say properly. I like started playing the guitar and writing and like basically putting all of my thoughts and feelings into words. And then it was a year later when I was 13 that I got signed to Atlantic Records, and um it's been pretty weird. I think like growing up in the music industry was was definitely an experience, like going to school and then sometimes coming down to London to do sessions. It was almost like having two full-time jobs. So
Right.
it was strange, but I think now that I'm 23 now, and like now that I'm kind of, in the start of my 20s, and I'm like kind of moving through life, I'm really grateful that I've had all that time to develop and to understand the industry. Because if I think if I was starting now, I wouldn't know what I was doing and I wouldn't know what I was getting into. So I feel lucky that I have been able to be with a label for so long, and also have them allow me to develop and grow and not put any pressure on me. So I feel like I've had a good ride. But yeah, there's been some ups and downs for sure.
Absolutely. And you brought up the importance of artist development because that's something that we rarely hear like nowadays, like with the newer artists and stuff. So that
Yeah,
must have played a huge advantage for you as an artist.
definitely. Definitely. I kind of like sometimes I guess the way that the industry is now, and like the climate that we're in, and like artists can like, nowadays they could put a song on TikTok, or they could like have it on social media, or and it blow, and them not have the preparation for what all of it entails. So I think, yeah, no, I think it was important that I had all of that time to develop as an artist, but also just like as a woman, and like to understand like what I wanted to say, what I wanted people to hear from me, and also kind of how I wanted to live my life. So it's been a development in all sides of my life, whether it be career or personal. Yeah, it's been all about growth, I think.
Absolutely. And it definitely shows not only in your music, but also your music videos. You definitely put out a certain intent when it comes to what you create. How important is that to have intention in your work?
It's so important. I think intention is everything. And I think when I was younger, I was a part of a contemporary dance company here in the UK, in Birmingham, and it was called ACE, which stood for African Cultural Exchange. And the dance was a fusion of African dance with contemporary dance. And I remember like the company leader would always talk about intention, and she would talk about it just in movement, and like in how, like she would talk about our eyes and our bodies, and like when you're doing certain movements, what is the intention behind that? What does it mean? What's the story? And I think that all of that training from, you know, age 7 to 14 really kind of put that into my brain, and it made me always think about intention. So I think intention is really important. And it's also really important just as an artist to know what you want to say and to know what you want your intention to be so that your audience can really feel that from you. So yeah, I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Now, your music videos, like I've been binge watching earlier today in preparation for this, and your music videos, man, bringing back concept in music videos first and foremost is super
Yeah,
dope. And especially like with your most recent string of music videos, of course, you have What You Did with LMA, you have Jealous with Rico Nasty, and the latest
yeah,
single, Whenever You're Ready. These music videos have been on point, and it kind of brought back like kind of like a 90s 2000 aesthetic, and seeing like bits and
yeah,
pieces from memorable, you know, moments in Black pop culture, like
yeah.
video like referencing Aaliyah, and then referencing the Belly video, especially with Jealous. Like, are these like ideas that you always like think up in your head, like, okay, this is what I want to do? Or like, is it something like the directors bring themselves? Like, what's your creative process as far as the music videos?
It's kind of a mix. So like sometimes, so I remember with What You Did, like there's always conversations about references, and I think that time of 90s into the early 2000s has always been a reference for me, particularly for visuals. Just because I think it's so exciting. And like obviously I was born in 98, so I kind of missed that early 90s TV, film, and I kind of had to learn that as I got older. But I love all of it, and I think it's probably inspired me subconsciously without even realizing. So whenever it comes to videos, you know, sometimes it's my idea, sometimes it's the directors, but it's also about working with directors who will have those ideas and who will hear my references and hear everything I love, and then they will go away. Like with What You Did, I remember the director putting in the Aaliyah reference, which is the black and white scene in slow-mo. And I remember being like, oh my God, that's great. And I think that is probably from collaboration and from me and him having so many conversations about music videos that I love, and then him injecting that in there. So it's always a collaboration. But I think, like, I remember when I was making the Jealous video, it was the director who sent me the treatment, and she referenced Belly. And I remember being like, oh my God, like I would never have thought of that. And I would, because I think my original idea for that was just, I don't even remember, but I know that we wanted to have a guy and a male protagonist, and we wanted to have the girls kind of coming in and kind of just messing up his world. And I loved her references, and I loved the Belly reference. And like, yeah, like that whole time for me is so inspiring. So
Yeah.
to recreate it in a new way and then have fans come and see it and notice it, I think that's fun. But yeah, with my latest video, I literally said to the director, Say My Name by Destiny's Child is one of my favorite videos.
Yes.
I love the color blocking, I love everything about it, and I would love to create something that aesthetically looks like that. So that was much more direct from me, but yeah, it's always a collaboration.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Whenever You're Ready video. First of all, we've been big fans of the song, you know, the way you flip the Montel Jordan sample. And then looking at the video, it is so aesthetically pleasing and it's like eye catching. And then I'm looking in the like little caption for the video. You filmed it on a cell phone?
Yeah.
First
We
of all,
filmed it on it, yeah.
First of all, what kind of cell phone is that? Because my iPhone would never, okay? And second of all, what was it like filming that, and like the process of filming that just on a cell phone? Like, because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how did they do that? Walk me through it, please.
I mean, it was, so the idea was put to me a few weeks before, and the first conversation I think was to the director. So like whether he felt like it would capture the image that he wanted to capture, and he thought it would. So I always say the brand wrong or the name wrong. It's a Chinese company, and the phone is, I want to say Chima, but it's written, it starts with an X, and I can't pronounce it, so I'm not going to try to. But it's not an iPhone. So it was really, so like, also I guess, you know, like I've kind of grown up like always with iPhone, and like iPhone being the best camera and the best, but it's not. And it was really amazing to like work with this brand and really get to see like what the phone could do and what the camera could do. And I remember seeing the shots back and being so shocked that it was a phone that could capture that. So it was kind of, I guess it was a way for us to kind of promote the phone, but also for me, it was really interesting. And it was actually much less stressful. You know, when you've got cameras, you're changing lenses, you're changing the screen, you're taking the camera off, and it's heavy. Whereas with a phone, you're much more mobile and you can move around and you can be much more free with how you shoot. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was almost like being in a party and like just having someone bring their phone up and start shooting what we were all doing. So I thought it was a really cool way to do it. But yeah, I think phones and cameras capture different things. And I think for that video, I think the phone captured the color beautifully. So yeah, I loved it. And I think people were really surprised to hear that it was all shot on a phone.
Yeah, everybody's about to be looking up like what kind of cell phone was used in this. Like you're gonna look up for that phone, trust me. All right, so you got the chance to work with a lot of amazing artists in your career. You've worked, of course, with LMA. You worked with Rico Nasty, Jacob Collier, which was responsible for your first ever Grammy nomination, and a lot of other artists. Burner Boy, of course, one of our favorites too. Do you have like a wish list as far as what other artists you would like to collaborate with in the future?
I definitely do. I have like, I would say right now I have a list of 3. Kendrick Lamar has always been the top of my list.
Okay.
I think SZA is someone that I would love to collaborate with. I love the way she writes. I love the way she sings. I think she is, for me, just one of the most exciting voices. I just think she is so new and I don't feel like anyone else really does what she does. So I think she is also top of my list. And also Yebba. I've been a massive fan of Yebba for a while. And I've just like, her voice just makes me feel just incredible. And there's a video she did for a song of hers called My Mind that was on So Far Sound.
Yes.
And when I was making my first album, I would watch it every day just to kind of feel her every day. So I think she is also in my top 3.
Awesome. So now we want to know like what's next for you. I mean, obviously, like you have the new music coming out. So can we expect like a new album soon? Because the last one, Love and Compromise, was fire. So
I'm most definitely working on a new album. And I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's me 2.0. I feel like you can hear that I'm 4 years on. You know, I started writing Love and Compromise when I was 19. So it definitely feels like me now, which I'm excited about. And I would like to say that I think it's nearly finished, which means that I think we'll be expecting it hopefully at the start of next year. But that's all I want. I just want to be able to keep putting out bodies of work. So I'm definitely excited about that, and I want that out as soon as possible.
Absolutely. And you've been putting out some quality work. Definitely one of the best R&B albums I have heard over the past few years. And it's definitely adding on to like the whole resurgence, if we can even call it that, of R&B, because, you know, with hip hop, you know, being so dominant over the past few years, and now we're seeing like this wave of R&B, great R&B music coming out. So my final question to you is, what would you like to accomplish for the rest of your career as far as like putting your stamp on?
Wow. What I would like to accomplish. I mean, I would hope that I continue to put out albums for sure. I think being an album artist was something that I thought about so much as a kid. And as I got older, I think, you know, being signed to a major label and kind of having the pressures of being signed to a major label and, you know, knowing that you need to deliver was always quite scary, and the idea of putting out an album always felt quite far away to me. So I think after I put out Love and Compromise, now I'm so excited for each. I'm so excited for each record and like each phase of my life to be out in the world. But as far as my stamp goes, I don't know. I I hope that I really would love to think that in 20 years I'm still making music and I'm still touring and I still get to speak to people and inspire people, hopefully. And also hopefully, you know, bring some of the kind of younger new wave R&B artists with me, because I remember, like, it's kind of weird to think that I'm like not in that phase anymore of like just starting out and like just starting to write songs and put out my first song. So I think for me it's always been about inspiring and also hopefully, you know, one day mentoring and like speaking to other young artists who are in the same place that I was however many years ago. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Mahalia, it was definitely an honor and a privilege to talk to you. We're definitely looking forward to whatever you put out in the future. And how can we follow you on social media? Let us know.
So you can all find me on all your favorite social media apps, just at Mahalia. My name is spelled Mahalia, and you can also search me on all streaming services.
Awesome. Awesome. Make sure y'all support that music whenever you're ready, playing on our airwaves. Of course, make sure you support her. Mahalia, thank you so much. We appreciate
Thank you.
Of course. And of course, make sure you keep it locked right here. Kiss 107.1, simply the best R&B. Paige B.